Alright, everyone, welcome back to Liminal Horror Solo Session number 10. Right off the bat, we're bumping up the chaos factor to 7 because they're potentially out of the frying pan into the flame, having started to maneuver towards the temple again from that inner tunnel area where they fought the creature. They are hearing voices. So, we're going to test the scene. Just to start it off, I've got kind of an idea in my mind of what might be happening, but I'm going to give Mythic a chance to scramble that up. So we need a D10. Skirt. There we go. That is a 4. So we are rolling within. Wait, Ooh, okay. So we've got an interruption. Not what I was planning. Alright. Let's roll on the a random event table? Yeah. Or should we do a scene adjustment? Random event focus table. Let's do scene adjustment. Nope, come on. Alright. Roll another D10. A 4. Increase in activity. Okay. Another 4. I think I kind of have an idea. So we'll say, as they get to the tunnel entrance, they hear shouts and we'll say gunfire. Okay, so kind of what I'm imagining is they get to the end of the tunnel, back to where they entered from within the temple, and they start to hear screaming and shouting, and there's just like the stench, this metallic tinge to the air. And as they peek their heads out of the tunnel, they can see they've got a couple other people who are dressed in similar everyday normal clothing, all with the Erickson waste management tags. There's a bunch of those people fighting off another one of the creatures. So I am going to... And also, it goes kind of without saying, it would make sense to have all of these fertilized eggs. Of course there would be another. So I'm going to roll and see... if the Erickson waste management goons are able to hold their own. Can the Erickson waste management goons keep the creature distracted? I mean, let's see. How do we want to do this? Because it's I'm going to say that this creature is much larger. We'll say maybe this is the female. Females tend, in sort of insectoid species, females tend to be the bigger of the two. So we're going to say this creature is a female. and she's much larger. And let's roll a d4 to see how many waste management guys there are. 2. Okay. So there's 2 waste management guys. Let's make a note of that there. And it's a much larger creature, so I'm going to give this a very unlikely. Which is still, that's literally a 50-50 chance. So we'll do very unlikely. And let's roll a D100, baby. So anything anything at or under 50 will be a yes. A 31. All right. Yes. I'm gonna say we're gonna roll another d4 to see. We'll say for how long. One d4. 2 minutes. So they've got enough time to sort of sneak past. All right. Yeah, so they're gonna. They sneak. They sneak past the creature and move toward the building's exit. And as they're moving towards the exit, they're essentially like they pull open, or they push open the bar, and when they do, they're essentially like face to face, not face to face, but like maybe like 10 feet away from this cop from earlier. It essentially like sort of followed at a distance from the moment he had retreated and was just sort of watching them. Saw the creature too. Heard all the gunfire. He has at this point called for backup, but none of them are there yet. So it is just him. And I am going to say he draws his gun immediately. So they encounter cop from earlier at the library, and he draws his weapon. And we've got his stats already, so we're gonna get essentially right into this. And yeah, get my pencil out real quick. We're gonna give this cop a, let's say like, we'll give him like 10 bullets. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just in case it would even come to that. And now we're gonna roll dexterity saves to see if we can go first. Let's see. These have been a pretty contentious, or a point of contention, the entire campaign so far. Chaz, dexterity of 15. Come on, baby. A 5. You got it. Todd, dexterity of 8. An 11. As always. Iris, a dexterity of 13. A 19, baby. You don't get to go either. Okay. Let's see. Wow, is this all that they got reduced to? Their hit protections? That's sick. Okay, so they gotta move quick here. And Chaz, I don't know, he didn't expect this, but he knew that they weren't out of the thick of it yet. So he's already got his handgun drawn as well. He had it like essentially at his side, you know. And yeah, he's gonna roll for damage. Mark off a shot. And let's roll for damage, boss. Okay, out of there, but a 3. So we'll say that's a 2 now. Alright, and now the cop goes. Yeah, so he's like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, no. Yeah, he's gonna just shoot at Chaz. Chaz already fired on him, so he's gonna return it. Oh god, okay. So that's a shot, and Chaz is down to 0 HP and 7 strength. So he's gonna make a strength check to see if he receives a wound. That is a 17. He does receive a wound. Okay. I might need to figure out... We'll say it's a flesh wound. I might need to figure out what happens in combat if you become, like, fatigued. Because once your inventory's filled all the way up... Give me 1 second. Make quick work of this. Deprivation and fatigue. Investigator deprived of crucial need of food. Wait, inventory. Okay. Investigators may carry a reasonable amount of items beyond their slots, though those who do so become deprived. Although it is assumed investigators have a bag or backpack, inventory slots are an abstraction. An investigator deprived of a crucial need such as food or rest is unable to recover HP or ability scores through rest, taking on the deprived. Being deprived for longer than 24 hours adds fatigue condition to an inventory slot. Okay. Each instance of fatigue requires suitable recuperation. The fatigue condition may also be gained through narrative means. Oh, okay. Huh. Doesn't really like apply to combat so much as you don't get to recover your HP and ability scores. But that is not what's important right now. So now pretty much everyone else gets to go. Todd. God, I mean, is it even fucking worth, like... Yeah, Chaz is going to just fire a shot. He's going to fire a shot. Does 6 damage, okay. So that's HP 0. We'll keep track of that over here. So we're doing 4 to that. So he's got 8 strength left. The bullet just like tears through the cop's shoulder. Like sort of like the very, very like curvature of it. Not like incapacitating or anything, but that shit fucking hurt. Todd's gonna run up with like his multi-tool and just like very limply just sort of swing in, try to like stab with like the sharpest feature of that. So D4, it's essentially unarmed. So that's a 2. That is not bad. Okay. I'm gonna mark off a shot. Iris is also going to fire. That's a 2. So that's 4. And it is the cop's turn. Literally, this is so fucked, but yeah. The cop recovers, is like, you know, sort of making his way, like running as fast as he can towards like not a recycling bin, but like a dumpster, sort of taking cover. And as he's running towards it, he just sort of like fires behind him, just like over his shoulder, and it hits Todd like square in the fucking neck. Yeah, Todd drops and sort of like body goes limp, and he rolls his head over and sort of like squinting, blinking the tears like kind of out of his eyes, like the wetness, and he's sort of just staring at Iris and Chaz, and you hear like sort of a choking, gurgling sound, and his eyes just close. Yeah, that is it for Todd. That's our first character loss of the campaign. Damn, dude. Yeah, he got beat up. I do not envy him. Holy fuck. Yeah. Yeah, that's brutal. R.I.P. Todd. Yeah, so that's the cop's turn. And give me 1 second. I'm gonna roll a D100 50 and lower. Yeah, at 50 or lower. Battle continues as is. 50 or above, there's a little surprise. That's a 74. Okay. Jeez, Todd is slain in combat. That's fucked up, dude. A creature bursts through the rear door. Okay, now the creature is involved. So give me 1 second. We'll do an HP 5. Dex of, I'll also do a 12. Control, let's just do a 10. Okay. Yeah, the creature is now involved. I'm going to mix this up a little bit. So we knew that there was going to be, the creature was going to join us at some point. So I'm going to, we're going to continue from the top of combat, and yeah, we'll see what happens. We're going to go, the creature is going to get to go before the cop though. Actually, that's not true. The creature bursts through. It's not totally like ready for what it's happening. It knows that the things it wants are outside. So I'm gonna send it last in combat. So yeah, Chaz, seeing the sort of like the opening, the distraction, the creature smashing through like the metal door and like all of its frame of this like brick building just like tearing, this huge chunk out of the wall down. The creature bursts out. He sees his opportunity, and he just fires at the cop. Wow, holy shit, brutal kill shot. All right. Yeah, so Todd fires, or not Todd. Oh, R.I.P. No, Chaz fires, and it just hits the cop, like side of the head, just drops him, like no noise, no nothing, just head hits the ground. And he's out. Iris, which I need to check something real quick. Yeah, she's got a fucking revolver. Was it the cop? The cop fired twice, right? Yeah, once and then once to hit chest. So yeah, she's got a revolver. She's got one bullet left. So if she wants another, she'll have to run over to the cop to grab his gun. Which will put her closest. Actually, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say like they're all over here. The exit's here. The cop was over here, like trying to make his way toward a dumpster. And yeah, Iris is gonna shoot at the creature. Ooh, okay, a 2. And that's her last round. She sort of like throws the revolver down, knows that she's got to make a beeline to that cop to get his weapon. So yeah, she doesn't have that anymore. Make a note of that real super quick. She can run over and make it. We will update that. Okay. Yeah, the creature is gonna go. And it sees Iris like starting her movement. Actually, you can move and you can attack in this game. So yeah, she's gonna have like sort of made her way over to the cop's body, like sort of stopping to like take a shot with her last bullet at the creature, sort of glancing off its like exoskeleton. But she does make it to it, and the creature sees that, so it is going to attempt to like pounce towards her and slash. God damn, man. Okay, she's at 0. 0 hit protection. All right. Now Chaz is gonna go, and he's gonna like try to get this thing's attention, like, hey, fuck you, just like firing off a shot. Oh, nice, dude. Okay. So creature's at 0. I got an overflow of 3, so we'll do what is that, 9? Yeah. The creature is going to try to attack Iris again. It did feel the wound, like sort of feels the bullet go in, and this just makes it irate, and it's like swinging wildly at Iris. But it doesn't do a whole lot. So she's at 6. She is gonna have to make a strength save though to see if she acquires a wound. So she's got to get a 6 or lower. Oh my god, a 20. Okay, so wound, we'll say slash. And yeah, Chaz is gonna continue to fire on the creature. Dude, nice. Okay. Wait, did she get to go? Did I skip Iris? No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, because I did skip Iris. Because the creature, she fired her last shot. It wasn't really super phased. It made it irate, and then it went to attack Iris. Yeah, we'll keep that 1. No, that's not the order. I fucking knew I skipped her. Yeah, I forgot, because she's got to get a new weapon. Okay. So, Iris is back. She's back up at 7. She doesn't have a wound. We're probably not going to get that 1 again, but at the same time, we can put some more damage on this thing. So Chaz hit it. What was it? He did... What did I just have there? Yeah, he rolled a 5. Okay, so it should have been a 4. Yeah, so he did 4 damage, fired that shot. She's got her own gun now, so she's got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 left. Cool. And she's going to fire at this motherfucker. There we go. Oh, dude, see? Yeah, that worked out. Boom. The creature, she fires a bullet, like, square into its head. It sort of, like, lunges and tries to swipe her as it's stumbling forward, and it just, like, runs headfirst into the side of the brick building, just, like, snaps its neck in two. And that is the creature. Okay, so let's do a little update here. The cop and creature are dispatched. These two are beat the fuck up. They take a minute to sort of process what's happened. They see, like, the cop, they see the creature, like, the construction crews have, like, they have all fled at this point. They heard the chaos going on in the basement, and they got the hell out of there. Yeah, so they're kind of staring at everything that's going on, like, pretty shocked. And they see Todd, and they're just like, sort of trying to process, like, what they've gotten themselves into. Like, all of this happening over the course of, like, a night. Say maybe it's nearing dawn, like, it's not as dark outside. You can kind of see, like, a hint of the sun coming up. And they just have no fucking clue how they got here. But everything is exposed in this building now. Like they could technically get someone here. They could demolish this fucking building. They could, like, set the whole thing ablaze. They could, you know, tell someone, some sort of, like, exterminator, I don't know, like, whoever they need, get a priest in there to exorcise the place. Who fucking knows? But they're able to kind of just, like, stop and think, and as they sort of get up to, like, rub the dirt off their shoulders and head in some direction. They're not even sure. They're sort of shell-shocked. They hear sirens pulling into the back parking lot where they're at. Cops pull in. And the cops pull in, and they have their guns drawn immediately. They can see one of their officers with a bullet wound to the head. And they're just, like, guns drawn, like, get the fuck on the ground! Get the fuck on the ground! Just, like, flashlights in their eyes. They can't see anything. There's just, like, a cacophony of noise and just, you know, outside stimulus. And they just let it happen. They can't fight anymore. They're fucking exhausted. They lost one of their own. They didn't super know Todd, but, like, spend a whole night with someone and then watch them perish at the end of it. Like, that'll that'll mess with you mentally. So the cops pull in and arrest Chaz and Iris. We'll say that they get taken downtown, and they get to the police station, and they're not saying much. They get put into like the holding cell. They get booked. They remain in handcuffs, searched the whole 9 yards. I don't know. They're like at a loss for words, and they sort of make eye contact, knowing that they don't know that there's going to be a lenient sentence for them, regardless of whether or not this discovery becomes public knowledge. For all they know, for all the cops know, they killed Todd and that cop. Gunshot wounds on both of the bodies. But yeah, they're sitting in the holding cell, and I want to say that like a cop comes around the corner. So we'll say an officer tells them they have a visitor. And then a woman in like black sort of, we'll say like a black business slacks, like a business pant, you know, and like a nice button up blouse, white, like no frills, no nothing, just like clean, looking formal as hell. Rounds the corner. She's carrying a briefcase. She's introduced as their lawyer. Okay. We'll say a woman appears and introduced as a lawyer. And then right as the woman, so she goes to like, she sets down her briefcase and she approaches like the bars on the holding cell, and she says, I'm Madeline Thomas. I'll be representing you during this criminal investigation. And Chaz looks over, sort of like takes in, gives her like the acknowledgement, and he glances down at her briefcase, and just along like the top of the briefcase, like on the front panel of it, there's like a like sort of gold embossed words that say Erickson Waste Management. And that's where we're going to end this campaign. Give me one sec. Gold embossed letters on her briefcase. Read Erickson Waste Management. Who knows what will happen to them? This is like prime for like a part 2 or a season 2 of this campaign. But this is where I want to end it for now. I feel like it's a fitting end. Pretty proud of the Erickson Waste Management branding on the briefcase right at the last scene. Sort of camera cuts, fades. That's fun. It's a nice setup for a season 2. But I've got a million games and systems I need to play, so this is where I'm gonna end the Liminal Horror solo sessions for now. R.I.P. Todd. Yeah, at some point maybe we'll do like a little follow-up update, say sort of the events in between the end of it. But for now, we're gonna leave it lie. So thanks everyone for following through, watching, comments, subs, all that jazz. This has been a ton of fun, and I can't wait to start the next thing. Couple options. Yeah, if you're here at the end, let me know what you think. What would be fun? I'm like toying between Yokai Hunters Club. So there's Yokai Hunters Club, which I did a review for, like just the rules and the book itself. We've got Yokai, which I think I've got them all. I'm thinking maybe Black Sword Hack would be fun. There's Yokai Hunters Club. These are just what I have near me. These aren't the actual books, like the core books, but like Outcast Silver Raiders would be fun. I could do some Delving Deeper, some OD&D. Cloud Empress could be fun. Yeah, what else? I would love at some point to figure out how to do Fabula Ultima solo, because I'm like a big Final Fantasy guy, as you know from the channel. Yeah, I don't know how that would work out solo. It seems kind of hard. I've also got Print Weaver, which would be cool. Your characters are made through like your fingerprints. This has had my attention for a while. Haven't got a chance to play it. But yeah, we got some options. We'll land on something, and I'll make a post or something like that. Maybe do a poll and see what people think. But yeah, anyways, thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate you, and I hope you enjoyed the 10 sessions we had of Liminal Horror. Thanks, y'all.